The grace of God is sufficient for you all. My name is Pako Gaebepe, and by the special grace of God, I am a PPS Diamond. People of God, if I'm meant to take you through a brief history of my academics. Growing up, I was a very, very average student. I would get B's and C's. Very, very hardly would I get an A. And throughout this time, I was very playful. I was a class clown. I enjoyed being a class clown. Instead of listening in class, I'm busy thinking of jokes to make the people laugh. That carried on from standard 1 until standard 6. Until in standard 7, after hearing the messages of the men of God, such as marry your books and sacrifice the present for the sake of your future, I decided to change. Also, after listening to the PPS testimonies. And due to that change, I moved from those B's to actually getting an A instead of 7. Now, moving on to my Form 1. I was in Form 1 in 2020, and as you all know, in 2020 was the lockdown period. And now, during that time, whatever momentum I had from standard 7, it went away like that. From the lockdown until the end of Form 1, I don't think I remember even touching a book. I had lost all motivation, and because of that, I went from an A to a C. I went from an A instead of 7 to getting 31 out of a possible 63 points in my Form 1. Now at this point, I was very disappointed, but I wasn't really motivated to change anything. This carried on up to Form 2. Same thing, I was getting straight C's. The one thing I was consistent in was actually getting C's. I would get C's literally every single exam that I write in every single test. This carried on, Form 2, same thing, even up to Form 3. In my mock examination, I got 35 points out of a possible 63. I was down, I wasn't feeling motivated. I didn't think I would make it. But then, by the grace of God, the man of God called a PPS meeting in around August 2022. I was just about to sit for my final examination, sitting on that 35 points that I've been stuck on for the past 3 years. And during this meeting, there were the PPS testimonies that really, really changed my way of thinking about academics. And after that, the man of God graced the altar and told us that we cannot serve two masters. We cannot serve our academics and our flesh. I was serving my flesh this whole time. I was watching YouTube, I was playing. I literally wanted to do anything but read. But after hearing this, I decided to change. I became so motivated like I'd never done before. I actually started studying like I'd never done before. And because of that, I moved from a 35 points in my mock examination to 47. Now, when I'm seeing this result, I'm like, wow, it's actually so nice to pass. Because before then, every morning when I'm going to school, my mother will always be telling me, Pako, you have to study, you have to study, you have to study. And it's not nice to see your parents always being worried about your academics. So to see my mother looking at my results and she was so proud, she was so happy, I was like, wow, this is such a nice feeling to have. And now going into my senior school, I wanted to make myself even more proud because I was more motivated because of what I had done in my JC. I was motivated to do even better than I ever done before. And because of that, I started studying like I'd never done before. I started reading every day and studying. And by the grace of God, at the end of my Form 4, I got 42 points out of a possible 48.
What was the secret that now propelled you to now 42 points out of 48?
That secret was discipline, having a lot of character. Because to get such grades, you need a lot of discipline. You need to discipline yourself that if I say I'm reading at 7, I want to read at 7. And that's exactly what I did. Genuinely, it came as such a shock to my classmates. They always ask me just when I'm alone with them, like, Pako, are you normal? why are you doing this to yourself? It's like you're not even our age mate. It's like you're not even a teenager. Because at the time I was following the teachings of the men of God that we can't have social media, we can't date, or anything like that. And it came as such a shock to them, but I did not use those words to deter me. In fact, the more they said it, the more I wanted to continue what I was doing. It's like they were encouraging me. The more they called me that I was not normal or anything like that. So at around this point, I said at the end of Form 4, I got 42 points. And by the special grace of God, I got an opportunity to represent my school at the National School Quiz Championship. And I got the opportunity to represent my school in front of so many bright minds. These are talking about the best students you can get from Botswana, from Zimbabwe, and from Eswatini. And to be among one of them with 42 points, honestly to me, I was so shocked. I was so happy. I was so blessed to be called to be in the caliber of such students. So now, naturally, being with such students, it gave me even more confidence. I was like, you know what? 42 points is not even enough. If I'm going ahead and representing my school in such prestigious competitions, I should even aim higher. 42 points is too small for me. So that's what I did. I looked at my report card for 42 points, and I said to myself, never again. Never again will I find myself with these kind of points. I'm only going up from now. And that's exactly what I did. So to do that, I had to get rid of the distractions that I had. First of all was sleep. I liked to sleep a lot. I would always sleep. I would struggle to wake up in the morning. So in order to combat that, I actually engaged my mother. I told her, look, I can't wake up in the morning, so please, every morning at this time, just drag me out of the bed, please. As a way to actually study at night, because that's something I struggled with. Another thing that I did was that I actually took away the remote of the TV. I told my mother, take this remote. I don't want to see it until I'm done with Form 5. Another thing that I did was that I engaged in study groups. I knew that I was a bit behind in terms of knowledge, so I started to collaborate with people that I knew understood better than me, and as well as the teachers. And I was privileged to be part of a generation whereby the government actually gave us laptops for free to study. So I used them to the best of my ability by actually going on group calls each and every single day with my peers to study. And this also helped with procrastination, because I couldn't procrastinate because I've agreed to study with some people. So I have to attend those meetings. So that also really helped me. So moving on, when I'm seeing, I was seeing a lot of progress. So from the beginning of the year with 42 points to the end of term 1, I moved from 42 points to 46 points by the grace of God. So now I'm seeing this results, I'm like, wow, 4 points in one term. Wow. It was so motivating to me. I wanted to even see myself even do better. So I wanted to even work even harder to actually get better results. And one thing I know, I always wanted to get a prize. For all these years, I've been attending prize giving ceremonies, only to go there and just clap my hands for the students. I actually didn't really like that. I also wanted to see myself as one of the prize winners, as one of the best of the best of the best. And I knew I had the capability to. And thanks to the teachings of the men of God and also the testimonies, I knew that if I just follow what the men of God has laid before us, I will surely make that dream come true. So, as time went on, I continued working hard. And at the prize giving ceremony, by the special grace of God, me, Pako Gaebepe, actually won a prize. It wasn't just one prize, I actually got 2. The first one I got was for being the best of the best of the best in biology, by the grace of God. And again, biology is a subject that I struggle with. I got a C in the beginning of the year, and I worked hard to become the best in the whole school, which I'm very grateful for. So the other prize that I got was actually very shocking. Like I said, I was never the best student. But to my surprise, I actually got a prize for being in the top 10 in the entire school. And by the way, this school has close to 900 students, and I was in the top 10. Yes, people of God, I ended up being number 4 in the entire school, which I was very, very grateful for. It's nothing that has never, it's never ever happened in my life. Never. I was very motivated. I continued to sacrifice my present for the sake of my future. I continued studying and studying and studying. Through the cold nights, the hot days, I continued studying. And by the end of the year, when I wrote my BGCSE, by the grace of God, I got 47 out of a possible 48. I was very, very happy. I was very excited. And later on, I actually found out that I ended up being the top in my class. These results. Okay, people of God. This one is my Form 3 mock examination. As you can see here, it's June 2022, and I got a grand total of 35 points, which is a grade C. And you can see it's C, 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 C. This now is actually my final examination. You can see JCE 2022. That's me, an overall grade of a B. It's 1A. For the first time, I got an A. 6 Bs, 1 C, and 1 D. Yes, people of God. Now, this over here is my Form 4 end-of-year examination. As you can see, I got a grand total of 42 points. And subjects such as development studies, I got a C. Now, in my final examination, I got an A. English was a C. Now it's a B. And chemistry was a B. Now it's an A star. Biology, like I said, I struggled with it. I got a C. Now I increased it to an A. And here we have maths. It's from a B. Now I got an A. It is. So as you can see here, we have some D here, another D here. But in this report, there is no D, no E, no F. I passed everything. As I said, I moved from 42 points up to 47. That's plus 5 points. Here, I have a certificate for being the best of the best of the best in biology. That is. And together with it came this nice little plaque here. I got same thing for biology. I was also presented with a medal. Right, here's a gold medal, which means I'm the best, by the way. This one is for being in the top 10 in the entire school of close to 900. Like I said, I was positioned 4. This is a badge, an accreditation, show that I did actually participate in the National School Quiz Championship. And yes, people of God, I was shown on TV, I was multiple channels. I was on TV, people of God. My word of encouragement to my peers is that you should sacrifice your presence for the sake of your future. I'm going to take this from the men of God because this is what actually helped me. And my peers, you should have a lot of discipline because it's easy to backslide. Like I said, I backslided in Form 1 from an A to a C in the matter of months. So it's important, it's imperative that you must have a lot of discipline. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.